Hey traders, welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're going to talk about Vinco Ventures, ticker symbol BBIG. Now, there was no major news that came out today. However, the stock had a very interesting day, going from down a lot to up a lot to kind of just consolidating in the middle. And with all the catalysts that are upcoming, right now is a great time to review the catalyst timeline. And then, as always, I'm going to hop into these charts, breaking down key levels, key indicators, and more, so we know how to best play this stock moving forward. So without any further ado, leave a thumbs up on the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and let's get started. Okay, so just as a refresher on the catalyst timeline, this is something we've all become very familiar with for this stock. Major catalysts upcoming, especially in the month of July. First and foremost, we saw that initially the parties intended to sign a final agreement and plan a merger and reorganization on June 24th. That is between Zash and Vinco Ventures. However, that was pushed back as they did do the immersive transaction and the motive transaction. And as a result, it was expected to be pushed back 15 days, which makes it July 9th, according to my calculations. I'm also seeing a lot of people say July 11th and July 15th. However, we know that sometime in the next couple of weeks, this news is going to come out. That's going to be massive for Vinco Ventures' bottom line, because when the news comes out, we're also going to see the results from this first catalyst. And that was that about a month ago, the Gemini Valuation Services completed and presented to Vinco an independent third-party valuation on Zash and Lemotive. That is expected to become publicly available when the agreement of plan of merger is signed. So be prepared for that. This is something I am very bullish on, both short-term and long-term for Vinco. I've made plenty of videos before breaking down why I think Lemotive can be a game changer. I'm going to link this to the end of the video, so make sure to click on that if you haven't watched those previous videos. It breaks down exactly my thoughts on Lemotive and why it makes BBIG very undervalued. Also, keep in mind that on July 15th, we are going to see that Vinco shareholders are going to vote for the approval of the Zash merger. That is something I fully expect to happen. So keep your eye on that. That's another major catalyst that can send this stock flying. But with all that out of the way, let's get into the charts. We saw a very interesting day. Here we are with about 30 minutes left to go before close, and we opened up pretty negatively. We broke past this key 375 level. It triggered a lot of stop losses, and as a result, we went to kind of fill some gaps, test some key levels that we experienced before. And we kind of saw this bottom out right around the 360s, got a double bottom there. And then we started to move back up. Okay, the news started to flow in. People realized that, I mean, this overselling is completely overblown and that the merger is right around the corner. And as a result, we started to get a big push upwards. Volume was flowing into the stock. Everything looks good. And we kind of had this peak around 413 before finally just having a little bit of healthy consolidation, still remaining above VWAP on the day. That's the volume weighted average price. This is this yellow line that's right here. And by being over VWAP and most likely closing over VWAP, it shows that the bulls are in charge of tomorrow's trading session. We can expect more moves to the upside tomorrow. That's a positive indicator. Taking a look at other indicators, we're going to start off on the moving averages, starting with the short-term EMAs. We have the 9-day EMA here at 408 and the 21-day EMA at 407. We are right at these levels. However, we are still below, meaning that this stock outlook is short-term still bearish. However, I do expect more retests of these numbers and key levels coming this week. And if we are able to break above them and hold these levels, that's going to bring more volume into the stock and continue to send this stock higher. That's very good. Taking a look a little bit more longer term, we do have our 50-day moving average sitting currently at 346 and our 200-day moving average currently sitting at 248. Vinco Ventures is currently well above both of those levels, indicating that the stock is bullish in the intermediate to longer term. Also, taking a look a little bit longer term, we do see that while we did break out of our bullish pennant momentarily in the morning, we were able to reclaim that. We were able to get a lot of buyers. That means that the bullish pennant remains intact. And as you guys can see, it's kind of going to materialize right around the time that we expect the merger to be announced. As a result, if we can get a big break out of this bullish pennant, we can expect to see a massive, massive breakout. So the trend still looks very good for this stock. Other indicator to take a look at is going to be the RSI. And you guys can see that, with this movement, we kind of continue to materialize ourselves in neutral territory, which means that Vinco Ventures is setting up to make another leg upwards. We saw, we were testing overextended territory in the month of June, and it made it a lot harder for the stock to go higher. However, now we have reset ourselves, and as a result, this thing is looking primed to start moving to the upside very, very soon. Final thing to take a look at on the charts is going to be our key levels heading into tomorrow. So the first key support level is going to be at 385. After that, we have 375. That's kind of where the lower bounds of our bullish pennant is. So expect a lot of buyers to step in if we retest those levels. And finally, after that, we do have this 360 level. It proved to be a big level today. A lot of people were saying we were going to gap fill to the 3.5s or the 3.4s. But if you do look at the chart, 3.6 has always been a big level. So expect that to continue to be a level and bring in a lot of buyers if we go to retest it. When it comes to support levels, I always say that if you are looking to enter the stock, try to buy near support levels. By doing so, you're going to minimize your risk and maximize your upside. But now let's look at the upside and let's look at resistance levels heading into tomorrow. So the first one is going to be $4. This is a big psychological level. If we can get above that, expect a retest of these short-term EMAs. And if we can't get above that, well, then we're going to go and start to retest 420, start to break back into a shorter term uptrend. Above that, well, now we can expect a retest of this 450 level, which is where the upper bound of the bullish pennant is. And if we are able to break above that, well, then this stock could really start to fly. We could start to see some massive, massive volume flow into the stock. And with the catalysts that are upcoming, this is definitely a possibility. So keep your eyes on that. The last thing to take a look at in regards to the charts and the technicals, we have to take a look at volume. And as you guys can see, big volume spike today. We are going to kind of close right around the 12 to 13 million share marker. That is a positive sign. It shows that interest is flowing back into the stock. And as you guys can see earlier in the day, when the stock made a move from about 360 to 410, there was a lot of volume. So that's definitely a positive sign. Expect this volume to continue to increase if we want to continue to see that positive price action. If the volume remains stagnant or goes lower, expect more consolidation and downside ahead. It's going to be a great indicator of what happens next with the stock. Final thing to take a look at is just going to be the potential here for a gamma squeeze and a short squeeze. I think both are very much still possible for the stock. If we take a look at the options volume, we do currently see there are 40,000 open calls on the $5 July 16th strike that are currently out of the money. However, if the stock does start to make a big move upwards, well, all of a sudden the institutions that sold these call options are going to have to cover their positions. And also, if these do expire in the money and get exercised, well, all of a sudden that's 4 million additional shares that are going to be bought up for this stock. And that's a positive because, the public float on this stock is only 31 million. So 4 million shares could make a big, big move in the stock price. Final thing, it's just the short interest. Nothing has been updated here, but as you guys can see, that 20% short interest is definitely very, very high. And as a result, if the stock does continue to make moves upward, shorts are going to have to cover. And as we all know, that is also going to send the stock price a lot higher. So keep your eyes out on that, but let me know what you think happens next with the stock. I'm always interested to hear your feedback. If you guys have any questions for me, let me know. I'm happy to answer them. If you like this video, leave a thumbs up. If you want to see more content like this, please subscribe to the channel. And aside from that, have a great rest of your night.